4 loaded guns, hidden inside a microwave, 2 Glock 19 pistols, a Glock 17, a Taurus G2C, and 59 rounds of ammunition, all with the serial numbers removed. This wasn't a movie prop or a shocking police training demo, it was real. And 2 brothers from London thought they could smuggle it into the UK from Florida, but they were wrong. That single package triggered an international investigation. And in 2023, both Edward and Cadian Pink were sentenced to more than a decade in prison each. Before we dive into how police uncovered the plot, make sure you're subscribed for more UK true crime stories and organised crime breakdowns. The case began on June 28, 2022, when US Homeland Security officers intercepted a suspicious parcel destined for the UK. It had been sent from Florida to a business address in Newham, East London. A scan revealed strange shapes inside. When officers opened the parcel, they found a microwave, and inside that microwave was a deadly surprise: 4 loaded pistols and nearly 60 rounds of ammunition. It wasn't just the weapons themselves that raised alarm. The serial numbers on all 4 firearms had been removed. That's a clear sign these weapons were never meant to be tracked. They were destined for the criminal underworld, where anonymous guns can change hands dozens of times. Homeland Security quickly seized the package and alerted the Metropolitan Police's Specialist Crime Command. A joint investigation was launched, spanning London and the United States. Detectives in London moved fast. By July 12th, both Edward and Cadian Pink had been arrested, charged, and remanded in custody. Edward, age 46, was from Lambeth in South London. His younger brother, Cadian, 41, lived in Surrey. Both were accused of conspiring to possess firearms with intent to endanger life and conspiring to possess ammunition. The evidence against them was strong. On Cadian's mobile phone, investigators discovered a recorded voice note from a US contact. In it, he was told to list the make, model, and specifications of what he wanted. Prosecutors argued this was a direct reference to firearms. Cadian, however, insisted it was about hair clippers for his mobile barbering business. The jury didn't buy it. In February 2023, both men were convicted at Croydon Crown Court. The judge sentenced Edward to 12 years and Cadian to 14 years. Those sentences were to run concurrently across both counts. The Metropolitan Police emphasised the wider significance of the case. Detective Chief Inspector Ant Jones said, "The Met has fantastic working relationships with partner law enforcement agencies all over the world. It's because of our work with our colleagues in HSI that we have successfully prevented a number of lethal weapons from falling into the wrong hands here, and successfully brought to justice those who conspired to import them. I've no doubt that this partnership working means that lives will have been saved as a result." US Homeland Security also issued a statement. London attaché Tim Hemke said, "Today's sentences highlight the impact international collaboration can have on public safety. We will continue to work with our partners to investigate and combat transnational organised crime, like weapons smuggling, to bring criminals to justice who seek to do harm worldwide." The case was shocking for its creativity. Criminal groups are constantly searching for new ways to sneak weapons across borders. In this instance, the smugglers believed hiding pistols in a microwave would be enough to fool scanners. But X-rays revealed the hidden shapes, and officers knew instantly that something was wrong. The plot also showed the link between international suppliers and UK demand. America has a huge firearms market, where weapons are easier to obtain. But once in the UK, guns like these become rare and highly valuable. For organised crime, the profit margins are massive. 4 guns may sound small compared to other seizures, but investigators stressed that every single weapon counts. 4 loaded pistols could mean 4 shootings, 4 robberies, 4 lives lost. And when firearms like this make it to London's streets, they rarely stop at just one use. That's why the sentences for the Pink brothers were so severe. Conspiring to possess firearms with intent to endanger life is one of the most serious charges available under UK law. Judges are required to hand down long sentences even when the number of guns is small. The logic is clear. Each one could kill, and the intent was proven. The brothers themselves offered no real explanation. Edward didn't contest the case strongly. Cadian claimed his voice note was about barbering equipment, but jurors dismissed the excuse. In the eyes of the court, both were knowingly involved in trying to smuggle firearms into Britain. The Met described the case as another example of the link between firearms, gangs, and the drugs trade. Guns aren't shipped in isolation. They're often tied to wider criminal markets. With every successful seizure, police believe they are disrupting organised crime networks that thrive on violence and intimidation. At the sentencing, the judge reinforced that point. The Pink brothers weren't importing harmless goods. They were importing lethal weapons, stripped of identifiers, ready for circulation. And if not intercepted, those weapons could easily have ended up in the hands of gangs across London. The microwave concealment will be remembered as a creative but ultimately failed attempt. And while investigators suspect other shipments may have been attempted, the June 2022 interception was enough to dismantle this particular conspiracy. The lesson is clear. Firearms smuggling is not always about huge shipments or hundreds of weapons. Sometimes it's about just a handful, hidden inside everyday objects, heading to unsuspecting addresses. And in those moments, it only takes one vigilant officer or one scan to prevent tragedy. For Edward and Cadian Pink, the outcome is prison. For investigators, it's another small victory in the ongoing fight to keep lethal weapons off UK streets. And for the public, it's a reminder of how close these guns came to being used. If you found this breakdown interesting, make sure you're subscribed for more UK's true crime stories. And if you want to see how other gangs smuggled weapons into Britain using everything from car engines to shipping containers, check out the video linked here next. Thanks for watching and stay safe.